Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah. Thanks for joining me today. We've got a 20-minute routine based on arms and abdominals. So lots of strengthening. I'm not going to lie, it's quite tough. So I really hope that you are up for a challenge. Now, if you do make it to the end of the routine, leave me one of those strong arm emojis in the comment section below. Not going to need any equipment, just your body and a nice safe space to work with. So whenever you're ready, let's go. Right, we're going to start seated for this one, ideally with the legs crossed, and we're going to be in this position for a little while for the start of this routine. So if you do struggle with seated positions like this, if you're a bit tight around the hips, just grab a cushion, maybe even two, or a Pilates block, and then you can just sit on that, lift the pelvis up, and it should make you feel a bit more comfy, okay? Otherwise, let's just start with the hands resting on the knees. Relax your shoulders, and let's find that neutral posture by very gently raising the breastbone up. So that helps you to elongate your spine. You should now be sitting on your sit bones, so those little bony parts that you can feel under each of your glutes. You want your chin level with the floor and the crown of the head facing the ceiling. Lovely. So keep the shoulders relaxed, put the breastbone up so that places the shoulder blades more or less flush with your back. So you've got a really nice position for the shoulders. Okay, we need to engage the core. So let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. When we exhale through the mouth, we draw the navel in. Good. Now hold it there. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth throughout the movements. I'll guide you, so don't worry. All right, we're going to start with the neck first. Very simple exercise, head turns. So keep lengthening through the spine. Keep your shoulders back and down. Start by just turning your face to the left. Now slowly make your way to the right and repeat. Exhale. Inhale to pass through center. Nice and steady, keeping your chin level with the floor. Just a couple more. Okay. Last one there, and we'll face forward. Now let's just loosen up the neck and shoulders a bit by taking the shoulders up, back around and down, forward, round and up again. So just a couple of shoulder rolls, get rid of any tension that might be around the neck and shoulder region. But we'll use this movement to keep the shoulders back and down. Breastbone up, and we're going to go back to those head turns, but add another little movement as well. So we're going to be dipping the chin toward the chest, so sort of making a smiley face with the chin as we do the head turn. So we're getting a little bit more movement around the back of the neck. So first of all, slowly turn to the left again. You're going to dip your chin toward your chest as you look to the right, and then repeat. Now in terms of the breathing here, exhale as you dip your chin. Inhale as you look to the side. Shoulders back and down again, so we're staying as lengthened through the spine as possible. Okay, last one. And then we're back to the center. Again, rolling the shoulders. Good. Okay, remember, if you're feeling a bit uncomfy around the hips, you can just give your legs a little bit of a rest if you need to, and maybe cross the legs over the other way. So the leg that was behind, make sure that's in front now. Okay, just make sure you're nice and comfy, or as comfortable as you can be in this seated position. Okay? Okay, before we start, I just want to say the next set of exercises is quite challenging because we're really going to be strengthening the arms and shoulders. So do listen to your body, relax if you need to. Okay, all that said, let's make sure we sit tall with the shoulders back and down. We've got the navel drawn in. Okay, so we've got our core engaged in a good neutral posture, but we're going to take our right arm up. So reach it up so that it's by your ear and turn your palm in so it's facing the midline of the body. Okay, now you're going to take your left arm out to the side so it's floating parallel to the floor, and you're going to point the fingers toward the ground. Okay, now let's breathe in. Exhale to raise your arm up, and then inhale to come down. So nice and slowly, pointing the fingers down as you raise your arm up, and then up as you bring your arm down. Nice and slow, smooth movement, keeping your spine nice and still. Remember, try not to drop your ribs. Don't drop them down. Stay lengthened. Good. Now we're going to speed this up slightly. Okay, not too fast, but it's going to be up, down, up, down. Just a little bit more power behind the movement. Okay, now in terms of breathing here, you can exhale, exhale, exhale. Little in-breaths in between, or you can exhale, inhale. Okay, just do what works for you, but get a nice little tempo. And we're going to go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold this arm up if you can. Turn the palm in. We're going to do the same on the other side. Shoulders back and down. Breastbone lifted. Fingers point at the floor. Okay? Keep the navel in. Exhale. Up. Down. Nice and slow. Okay? So we're not rushing at all. The first few, just to get some movement around the shoulder before we speed it up slightly and get a bit more power behind the movement. Okay? So last couple like this. All right then, and then we're going to go up, down, up, down. So shoo, and breathe, shoo, and breathe. Make sure you keep your left arm by your ear. Good stuff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Okay, let's turn the palms so they're facing each other. Now you're going to widen out your arms, get them parallel to the floor. Keep the palms facing up. And then we're going to start to circle slowly the arms. Okay, so this movement's coming from the shoulder. Okay, so keep the palms facing up. Go nice and steady. Breathe. Keep the navel drawn in. And remember, don't drop the ribs. Stay lifted. Lengthen through. Brilliant. Feeling that around here. So the sort of front of your shoulders, getting into the pectorals as well. We're going to change direction right now. Okay, so go the other way. Shh. Try not to wiggle your body around. Stay nice and still. Breathe. Keep the oxygen flowing around the body. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, now bend your elbows. Just drop them down slightly. Bring the fingertips together, but then part them slightly as if you're holding a golf ball or a little egg. Okay, keep the shoulders back and down. And you're going to gently start to make these little circles with your egg or your imaginary egg or imaginary golf ball. Now, this movement is actually coming from the elbow here. So it's actually the forearms that you're spinning. Good. So try not to wobble the body, basically. Keep the breastbone up. Remember to breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm so sorry, go the other way. Really feeling that around the back of your arms. That's into the shoulders. Who needs weights, right? You can do this with weights as well. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now if you can, just lift your elbows up again so they're in line with the shoulders. Open the palms, face forward. Okay, now keep your elbows nice and wide here. Shoulders back and down, robot arms. All you're doing is pressing the palms down and lifting up, but keeping the elbows aligned with the shoulders, okay? So this is coming from the shoulder. It's a twist, a circumduction. You really do feel that up here, front of the deltoids. Okay, we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Okay, keep the elbows where they are, so in line with the shoulders, but then bring them together so the forearms touch, palms together. This is prayer pulses. Now I'm just going to turn slightly to one side just so you can see the position of this movement, because I want your shoulders back and down again so you're not sort of dropping the ribs. We're staying lengthened. Okay, all we're going to do is just lift the fingers up, up, up. Shoo, shoo. Oh, really feeling that around the back of the shoulders, into the back of the upper arms, keeping your elbows together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and down. Well done. Let's roll our shoulders. Big deep breaths and come out of this legs crossed position or cross legs position. Now, if you just take yourself toward the end of your mat, lengthen out the legs. Legs together, point the toes and make sure you've got some space behind you because we're going to roll back into supine. So we'll take our arms out in front, shoulders back and down. Take a deep breath. Exhale, draw the navel in. Let's lean back, lower the ribs and slowly come down into a full body stretch. Okay, so arms overhead, point the toes, and you can flex your ankles as well. Give those calf muscles a nice little stretch. And bring your arms down by your side, palms facing on down on the floor, and then feet down as well. Okay, so just relax your shoulders and your hips. We're going to turn our attention to our abdominals. So the first exercise we're going to do is cross crunches. So let's take the right leg, lengthen it out. You can just relax it on the floor. Point the toes. You're going to keep your left foot down. Now you're going to take your left arm and place it behind your head, or left hand behind the head. Bring your elbow into your peripheral vision, and you're going to float your right arm by your side, but palm facing up. Now this arm is going to stay in the same place throughout the whole exercise. You're just going to keep it floating. But let's draw the navel in. So on your next exhale, just draw it toward the spine, tighten up your abs, and then you're going to gently raise the right leg up and take the left elbow toward the knee. So you're lifting your shoulder, and then you relax back down again. So it's exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Don't pull on your head. Okay, keeping your chin away from your chest. And the back of the pelvis also needs to stay relaxed and pressed toward the floor as you raise your leg up. So you're stretching out the back of the leg, but getting into your hip flexors around the front of the hip. Okay, last couple. And then last one. And we'll come all the way down. You can give your knee a squeeze if you like, just draw it towards you. Relax your abdominals, breathe normally, breathe deeply, get that oxygen flowing through. And then we're going to change sides, okay? So pop your right foot down, lengthen out the left leg, point the toes. This time it's going to be right hand behind the head, elbow in the peripheral vision, and we're floating the left arm, palm facing up. Okay, remember, keep the navel drawn in. Slowly and carefully raise the left leg and lift the right shoulder, gently taking your elbow in the direction of the knee. So we don't have to touch the knee. You should, as we're doing this exercise, really feel this working your abdominals, particularly the muscles underneath your tummy button. Good. Keep the back of the pelvis square and level with the mat and in contact with it if you can as well. Let's just go for 3 and 2. Last one. Fantastic. And then if you want to give your knee a squeeze, you can. Just relax your abs, breathe deeply. Okay, and then we're going to come to seated. We'll use the assisted roll up. So if you take your arms overhead, draw your navel in and press the lower back gently toward the floor to tighten up your abs using the imprinting technique. And then you're going to bring your legs to tabletop. So that's knees above hips, shins level with the ground. Now breathe in and reach your arms up. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders, take hold of the back of the thighs and rock yourself up to seated. Okay, now from here, we're going to come onto our elbow. So just face this way. I'm coming down onto my left elbow. So if you're mirroring me, it's going to be your right. Make sure your knees and feet are together. Your knees are bent and you're bringing them forward slightly, but then bring the heels towards your tailbone. We need to find a neutral spine. So let's take the top hip, tip it away so that lengthens your spine. You'll need to bring your elbow in a little bit closer now to make sure it's underneath the shoulder, and make sure you stay strong on that shoulder by pressing down into the floor. You don't want to collapse down. Let's reach up with the top arm. Keep your chest facing forward. And of course, that all-important core engaged. We're going to do hip dips. Okay, so we're going to be pushing into the floor with the elbow, lifting the ribs. We do that on an out breath. So take a deep breath. Exhale, press and lift. Inhale, slowly lower. Okay, so strengthening the shoulder, also strengthening the abdominal muscles. We're getting into the obliques, so the muscles on the outside of the body, outside of the waist. Perfect. And we're going 3, 2. Let's hold this last one. Hold it up for me. Good stuff. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's slowly come down. Good stuff. We're going to come down flat on the bottom arm. Okay, now just lengthen out the bottom half of your legs. So now your legs are in about a 45-degree angle in conjunction with your body. And you're just going to bring the bottom arm round now, palm facing down. Align your head with your spine. Place your top hand behind your head and bring your elbow into your peripheral vision. And now just slowly or carefully tilt that top hip back slightly. Draw your navel in. We're going to do more ab work, a little bit of shoulder and arm work as well. Side crunches. You reach the top leg up or raise it up. Gently press down with the bottom elbow and try and tap the knee. Okay, so feeling that little squeeze around the outside of the body again. This time it's the opposite side. Okay, so same muscle group, getting into your obliques. Let's exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, nice and slowly. We've got 3, 2, keep the chin away from the chest, and 1. Fab. Okay, now let's bend the knees, push up carefully, and bring your legs around the front of the mat to the other end. We're back on the elbow again. Okay, so back into our hip dips, or essentially side plank. So knees and feet together, bring the knees forward, heels in line with the tailbone. Reach your top arm up, chest facing forward. We're strong on the shoulder by pressing the elbow down. But remember, we don't want to relax the spine. So the top hip is going away from us. Make sure you bring your elbow back in again. Okay, ready? Breathe in. Exhale to raise the ribs and push down. Inhale to come back down again, nice and slowly. So feeling that squeeze around the waist. And breathe. Definitely working the shoulder. Okay, let's go. 4, 3, 2, and we're holding this last one. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and down. Okay, so let's come down all the way, but you're going to bring your bottom arm around the front. We'll do it this way this time. So palm down, but now you're going to lengthen out the bottom half of your legs, top hand behind the head, elbow in the peripheral vision. Remember, just tip your top hip backwards, because when you do that, it's going to make you work your abs. You're going to protect your lower back. Okay, keep your navel drawn in. When you're ready, you raise the top leg up, press down with the bottom elbow, try and go toward the knee or tap the knee with the top elbow here. But you don't need to come up very high. Even here, you're going to feel that really getting into the obliques. And breathe. Nice and steady. Good stuff. Remember, keep your chin away from your chest. That's a lovely. And we've got 3, 2, last one. Good. And all the way down. Let's bend the knees again. Okay. Now you're going to come up, but this time we're going to come into an all fours position. Somewhere around the middle of the mat, hands under shoulders, knees beneath hips. All right, let's find all fours neutral. Shoulders back and down. Look down at the floor between the hands, so keeping your head aligned with the spine. Draw the navel in and make sure you're lengthened through. We've got our long line between the tailbone and the crown of the head. You're going to take a nice breath in as you take your shoulders forward toward the fingertips. Now circle to the right, round and in, over to the left, and keep that going. So you're going in a clockwise direction around the hands. Lovely. So you can feel that. If you go really slow, you'll feel it around the chest, the shoulders, the back of your arms. It's nice and stretchy for the wrists as well. We're going to change direction around about here. Okay, so you're going anti-clockwise now. Round and in, keeping the spine straight, the navel drawn in. Breathe in to come around the front, out to come round and back in again. Okay, and then we're going to come back to neutral and tuck the tailbone under, sit back into shell and reach forward with your arms. You can relax your head as well. Nice big deep breaths. And we've just got one more little exercise to do. So I just want to mobilize the spine before we finish. So if you just come back into your all fours neutral position. Okay, a little cat-cow variation. So all you're going to do is take a deep breath, exhale, draw the navel in and tuck the tailbone under, and push the floor away from you as if you're going to sit back into shell. Okay, but before you land your hips, lift your tailbone, let the ribs sink down and move forward. Okay, now you're going to tuck your tailbone under again as you move back. So lifting the tailbone, rib cage down as you come forward, tuck the tailbone under as you push back. Lovely. Shh. and breathe. Okay, and then we're going to come back to neutral. Walk the hands toward the knees and come to kneeling. Give your hands a shake out as well if you're feeling that around the wrists. And then we're going to come to the middle of the mat, face forward, and we'll finish on a couple of nice deep cleansing breaths before we go. Okay, so let's sit nice and tall. Shoulders back and down as always. Let's keep the navel drawn in. And now you're going to reach up, breathe in here, and exhale. Inhale again, reaching up. And we've got one more. Big deep breath. And exhale. Well done. Well done, especially if you completed that routine, because that was tough, especially arms and shoulders. You're definitely going to feel that in the next few days. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please give the video a like, remember to subscribe, and do leave me a comment, let me know how you got on. And as always, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.